Welcome back, guys. I want to show us how to make rose flowers. So we're going to be starting from the basics. I use a 20 gauge wire. Yes, this is 20 gauge. I couldn't find 18. So the thing with the wires is that the lower the number, the stronger the wire is. So if you have an 18 gauge wire, it's stronger than a 20 gauge wire. So this is what I have at hand. I'm going to use it that way. So before we start, I'm going to show you how to do the wires for the buds. So I've already made these ones. We need to curve them this way. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. So I use my pliers, hold it and turn it. So just bring it down together. So the reason we do this for the buds is so that it can hold it and hold the weight of the flowers when you start making them. You don't want your flowers to keep falling off as you're working on them. So here I have my flower paste. It's not the same thing as fondant. It's stronger than fondant. I'll drop the recipe for it later, or I'll show you how to make it, but I just want us to make the buds because of time now. So I just cut a piece of it and I'm going to roll it. Okay, I have my corn flour handy so that it doesn't get sticky. So I'm going to use my finger and then try to form it into a cone. So just use your fingers to form it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just let it just have that cone-like shape. Okay. So I'm going to take one of my wires that I've already hooked up. Just dip it into water. Not too much. Push it like halfway. Then use my fingers to secure it at the base. I'm just going to stick it into my styrofoam and then go ahead to make others. So the size of your bud will determine the size of your flower eventually. So I want these to be a bit bold. I don't want them too small. So that's why I'm working with these sizes. There's no hard or fast rule to it. Just do what you're comfortable with. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to continue with our tutorial on making sugar flowers, and we're going to start with roses. They are my favorites, so I'll start with those ones. So here are some of the things we're going to use to make our flowers. So you either use this set of cutters. They are 5-in-1. They make it really easy and fast. It comes as a set with different sizes, or you can use the single petal cutters. Okay, then I have my improvised flower hanger. I got it from a tea set that I was given during my wedding 14 years ago, so it's quite old, so don't mind how it's looking. Then we have our brush and our water. We have our foam pad. The color is from years of usage. These are stains from colors that we normally use, but it's clean. Then we have our cell stick, and of course we have our shortening. Okay, so I'll start with yellow. I want to make some yellow roses. So I have my yellow color from Remix Colors. It's a very deep color. So I'll just put a little at a time so that I can get the shade that I want. Just work it with your fingers. As you can see, this is 50-50, like I told us before. I don't want it to be too brittle. I want it to be pliable. So I have a mixture of the sugar paste and fondant in the same proportions. That's our 50-50. So I want a darker shade of yellow. I'll add a little more. Just add a little more. So we're done mixing our color. So I'm going to tie it up before we start. Always keep your sugar paste covered. It dries out really fast. Always keep it covered if you don't want it to spoil. So the first thing we're going to do, taking our already prepared boards that we prepared the other day, they are really dry and firm. So you have to measure to know which size of cutter you are going to use. So I want to do a mixture of the single petals and the 5 petal cutters. So I'm going to use this to measure my petal. It is quite small, but it can serve for the first petal, the first petals, so that it's not too big, it's not too small. So this is just okay for this size. So I've cut a piece of the flour paste. Try to work with small portions at a time because the texture changes very fast as you work with it. So I'm just going to take a little corn flour, just enough to prevent it from sticking, and then I'm going to roll with my small rolling pin. When you're making flowers, you want your paste to be really thin, really thin, not thick, so that it looks really realistic when you're done. So this is the difference between flour paste and fondant. You can roll flour paste really thin. If you can look at it, it's almost, you can see through it, it's almost paper thin. Okay, I'm okay with this. It's super thin. So I'm going to cut 3 petals with this, my first small cutter. So for us to be able to work fast, since I have enough rolled out paste, I'm going to also cut for the next part. So I will still measure my cutter with my board to see whether it will go over it. So this is just okay, it's not so much higher than it. This is 10 cm. They have numbers on them. So I'll just cut one of this. Just like this. Make sure you have a clean cut. I'll wrap up the rest. So try to define it so that it comes out clean. Yes, super clean. So because I want to start working with these ones first, I'll wrap up these. Then I'll use my waterproof to cover this petal till I'm ready to come back for it so that it doesn't dry out. Just keep it by the side. Okay. So I've placed my petals on my cell pad. This is shortening or Crisco, whatever you call it. So I'll just keep some on my hand. Then make sure you have enough on your cells So just make sure you have enough of the Crisco on your ball tool. And then the secret is having half of the ball tool on the cell pad and half of it on the petal. So as you move it, it will coil. And you need to apply pressure. So let's go again. Let's bring it nearer. So watch. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. So what the Crisco does is it doesn't allow you to stick and tear. Take more if you have to. And then there you go again. There you go again.